All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Uh, is the audio okay? You can hear me all right? All right.
Yeah.
So I got my partner in crime with me this afternoon. Miss Barbara is going to be helping me out reading the chat while we go live. So I can't see the chat myself. So any questions that anybody has or what have you, any conversation, I'll be happy to respond to you. So this is a 12 by 24 canvas, and um, the only prep work that I've done is just put a thin coat of oil on here and a very thin coat, and just done a really loose sketch of uh, of some antlers there because we'll be doing a sunset um, with uh, with a deer and some. We'll figure it out as we go. So, but I appreciate y'all being here on a Saturday afternoon. All the bad weather's gone, and we can settle in for a little while and do whatever comes to mind. So, last week I used the paper palette and fought with it the whole time that I used it because it's paper. It's not rigid like a regular palette is. The only advantage to it was the cleanup. I was able to just wad it up and throw it away after the painting. But this week I've gone back to my old palette. So as you can see, very limited palette today. Uh, I got just some regular black, uh, some alizarin crimson, some yellow titanium white, just a touch of Van Dyke brown, and any variances that we need between those, we'll mix them. Okay. And of course, I'll be using some linseed oil to kind of thin the paint out as we need it. So, as far as brushes go, I'll use a 1 inch um, blending brush. You can see it still got the oil on it. I just left it on there. And little bitty liner brush for details. I'll probably be using my palette knife. This is one of my weapons of choice. So, uh, and then last week I went to the local art store and got this number 14 blending brush and loved it. The only thing I didn't like about it, well, there was two things I didn't like about it. It shed a little bit of hair, and it was a little bit too big. So uh, this week I went back instead of getting the number 14 and got a number 10 mop style blended brush. So we'll see how it works today also. And we're going to be using some reds, yellows. That'll just fade out as we go. A lot of black, a lot of silhouette type stuff. We'll just go easy with it. So painting like this, you got to be kind of careful with that titanium white in a background because it's a opaque color. So this yellow was more translucent, so you'll get a lot better effect with it. So we got 3 people in the room. So welcome. Was waiting on a few people to get in here, but we'll just move forward. Start to get us some just plain alizarin crimson, and it won't take much. Put our sky in. We'll darken it up as we need to, and that canvas has just got a little divot on the end of it there. We'll cover it up with a tree or what have you, so it won't be so obvious. Gonna work our way across. Oh, Miss Lisa. Okay.
I said Lisa Crawford.
Okay, Miss Lisa Crawford. Gotcha. If we didn't have that oil on that canvas, then there's no way that we would be able to blend these colors like this. So we were working with a dry canvas. It would hurt us for sure. We would have to put a lot more energy into it than we would need, and probably not get the same effect. So, let's go lighter towards the bottom. Darker at the top, lighter at the bottom. Really gonna make this one spot a little bit more rich than the rest of it. So we're gonna kind of have it fade out. Going down just a little bit more past where our deer's standing here. Won't spend too much time on the background, but we do want it to somewhat show that it's even. You know, a little bit of red, a little bit of orange, red and yellow. Kind of deepen it up a little bit. You do it however suits your taste. You want clouds, and put you some clouds in. This particular painting is very basic, very simple, and anybody can do it with a little bit of time and a little bit of patience. So. We'll blend that out real nice. Oh, it's got that one little stray hair on there. Oh, really? Bad as I hate to say it, y'all, I really want to go darker up top. And if we cover it up, we'll cover it up. We'll add some pretty dark edges in there. Kind of blend that out. If you're not satisfied with what you're painting, make some changes. Till you get it right. We might not even see a whole lot of this when we get done, but I'll know what's under there. Go back and get all those brush strokes out. Always go from the dark to the light. So we have a a record 4 viewers in here right now, so could be a record for us today. Let me get me a good clean brush. Kind of pull this out a little bit more. Probably even go in and add a little bit of dark. Just not enough. Gotta be careful with black and white. Be careful with that black when you're using yellow, because it will turn it green if you're not careful. So there's our basic background, but I'm really not satisfied with that. I'm going to take a just my old handy fan brush. Maybe add some real distant clouds in there. Anything going on in the chat, or everybody's quiet, huh?
Very quiet.
All right. Barbara's keeping me posted if there's my flimsy paper palette still giving me the blues. You see, that kind of frames things in a little bit. Hope y'all can see some of the where I'm going with it.
No, I do not.
Somebody does not. Okay.
Lisa said Barbara too, you paint too. And I said, no, I do not.
Barbara does paint, and she has painted, and actually was a big part of me starting to paint. I thought I had forgotten about my first acrylic painting that was on an old piece of canvas that I'd tried, and that was the reason that I went to oil. But she had an old loose piece of canvas, and I just attempted to paint and hated acrylic immediately, and that was when I knew I wanted oil. So this was my first time to pick up a brush, uh, and I knew immediately I wanted to go to oil. So didn't take me long to figure out how unforgiving that acrylics were. So y'all have to forgive me while I just clean up a few things that I see here. Almost going to put a little bit of dark up top. Just to kind of set the tone there. Just don't blend it too much or it'll turn green. We'll add just a little bit of white. A touch of that yellow. Kind of lighten things up down here just a little bit. Just a touch, because that white will take over. Whites and blacks will take over. You get some of that alizarin crimson. Just touch these just a little bit. Add a little flavor to them. Okay. All right, so we'll get our same old 1/2 inch or 1 inch brush, load it up with black. Kind of just fill this in down here all the way across. Black. Let that brush do the work for you. It'll work miracles. Turn it at different angles. Now we'll go in and put some details in. I can find the right brush. A little filbert brush. Here it is. I think for sure on this side. This old tree coming out here. Somewhat like that. Maybe some linseed oil. Linseed oil is what I prefer to use as a thinner, because the reason I say that, in my opinion, if you use regular chemical type thinner, then it will dry at a different rate than the rest of your paint will. So you can't really paint a tree wrong, because they're all different. No two are the same. So you're not going to mess it up. Sometimes you gotta kind of sit back and take a look at it, though. I'll go right off the canvas with you. That's the fun part about it. Move mountains. With a paintbrush. Grow trees. A lot of things you can do with a paintbrush that you can't do any other time. Can't do in the real world. You can do it right here on this canvas. I even overlap some of them. There we go. Have some of those limbs overlap the others, and once we put some leaves on here, some of this we might not be able to see, but it'll still have the indication of some limbs. We won't cover it up too much, but just have fun with it. That's all that matters. The rest of it don't matter. I'll go back to that. Making everybody deer hunting right now, so now's a good time to for this painting. If they ain't, they've been hunting. Turn that one in a little bit. Make you as big a buck as you want to. Well, still got anybody in here, and they all leave us.
People,
Is it?
that Cricket Bell, she said, hey,
Okay. Old Cricket Bell. One of our, one of my faithful supporters. tail out of here a little bit. He's a fat one. Sometimes you gotta stop what you're doing. I was working on that tree. So, stop what you're doing and work on something else for a little while. Back to a different brush. Put him a little bit bigger head on him.
You miss so much.
Who's that?
Look at that.
Yeah. Well, we've been on here, I don't know how long we've been on. I can't tell.
Three minutes.
43 minutes already? Yeah. You kind of make them antlers a little bit more healthy. They was looking kind of peaked. I don't know how many points he got, but he got a bunch. Yeah, he's standing out there, and the sun's going down. Get my little filbert brush. Work on this tree over here a little bit more. Like this tree needs to be a little bit more prominent. And put a couple bends in it. we'll add as we go. This is probably one of the more easier paintings that folks could do that were just starting out or what have you. It's going to be hard to go wrong.
That's supposed to be just a silhouette.
Yeah, that's just a silhouette. So if you added in some details on him, then it would probably wouldn't really look right in this particular setting. That, and I got a couple other paintings that were done in silhouette, and this kind of follows the theme. So all right. Get us a good brush to put some leaves in there. We'll even have a little moss hanging down from there too. That'll be a good idea. Real dark in the corner. Real dark there.
These carpets in, and it's beautiful.
I don't want to cover up. Well, thank you very much. I don't want to cover those branches completely. But I do want you to be able to look back behind them and see those little branches that we spent that time on. We'll definitely come in and add some detail. So I get my clean, dry fan brush and just kind of pull down some moss there. I don't know if you can really see the effect of the moss, but it's there. In lieu of moving the camera, it's easier for me to move the canvas. Well, we're looking pretty good on that side. I think we can do a little more work on the other side now. That's the fun of doing a painting like this. You add in what you want. All right. Maybe over on this side. Maybe a hill over here. Or if we want, we'll just make it a old tree. Maybe a little fuller tree than that other side. Just kind of break it up. Can't be scared. You get scared, you're in trouble. I would say when you start putting boundaries on it, on yourself, that's when you get in trouble. Really no boundaries in nature. Down have us a few little things coming up out of that brush over there. All right, we're moving right along. Diesel, you calm down, buddy.
Mhm.
Those little fine brushes, you add whatever you want to in there. Just kind of make it disappear on down into the evening there. We don't know what kind of trees or bushes those are, but we're gonna put them in there just to add a little bit of interest to the painting.
This cricket wants to know, how do you know where to place the trees?
Well, you don't, but I mean, really, any picture like this, you want to. Obviously, there's a couple of things that are going to make a difference. You got to have some sort of a focal point, something that's the center of attention, and then you got to frame it in. So our old friend here, he's the focal point, and we just use nature to frame him in. A tree on one side, some clouds, frame it in, and then a light source, which in this case the sun's already set. So as a light source, we just made the sky a little bit deeper in color in some spots. So that's really the beauty of it, is you can add or take away wherever you like. And you won't be wrong. I don't think that that God makes mistakes. So we need to give him a thick neck, though. I know that. Make him. There we go. Muscle him up a little bit. The only thing I'm asking myself is he looking at us or is he looking away? I think he's probably looking at us. What do y'all think?
Looking away.
Somebody said looking away. Really want to be dark across this bottom. I don't want any texture at all around here. I like him. I think he looks pretty good. We'll touch him up just a little bit. And we will call this picture done. I don't really want to make these look distant. When you pull them like that, that's what it'll do. All right, guys, what do you think? Well, I appreciate it, and I appreciate y'all being in here. And definitely would encourage you to give this a try because it's very enjoyable. So thank you to those of you that did come in. I would greatly appreciate it if you did like it and share it. So y'all have a good weekend and enjoy, and we'll talk to all of y'all soon. All right.
Miss Cricket said great job.
Thank you very much, Miss Cricket. I appreciate it. So send me some ideas in the comments on what you want to see next go round. I'll be won't be painting next week because of work. So next Saturday I'll be working, but Saturday after that we'll definitely come back and do another live. So just comment below, and we'll see what we can make happen. You guys have a good night. Have a safe weekend. Talk to you later.